will never go back to dieting. There was actually a point, I want to say this, there was a point pretty soon after I started this process that I said, I can't do this. This is too scary. I have to go back. And I did. I went back to dieting, and I used to be a calorie counter. So I said, okay, I rationalized this out. I'll just increase a bit the threshold of the calories that I allow myself. So it's more, not as restrictive. And I did it for 4 days because I remember so viscerally the feeling of like I was walking myself back into a cage and shutting the door behind me. And I said, enough. This is not how I want to be living my life anymore. I want to be free. I want to relax. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to be worried about a number on the scale. I don't want to be worried about what I'm eating. I want to enjoy. I want to trust. I want to live with ease. And so that brought me back forward. Now, it took me several years, truthfully, to get to the point where the thoughts about dieting just really went away, that I can look in the mirror and actually love myself, that I could look at a photo and delight in it. So that if that's like the A to Z or A to Z, it's every little step forward matters. But to get all the way to the other side took me a while. And we're so desperate in the beginning. If you are on this journey yourself now, or you're just thinking about starting, we want to be to the other side. Of course, I get it, but every little step matters. So life is so much better now. In fact, my husband, I had posted this on my Instagram. He actually found this old photo of me of when I was really at the height of my restriction. I was very, very thin. And he said, he was in the bedroom. He had the photo on his phone. He said, hey, come here. Look at this. And I went, and he said, look at how much you were starving yourself then. And I thought, oh my gosh. He's like, you look so much happier now. And in fact, something he had said to me fairly soon after I had started the process, he said, you look like you've finally grown into yourself. Because he had met me when I was thin, and he came along the journey with me. Now, I know not every spouse may go along the journey, but this, and I think this is a topic for another episode, so I won't get into it now, but I really truly believe when you are with somebody who you are connected on a deep level, when it's about being with somebody for who you are, they're going to love you no matter what. And I bet many of you listening are in a relationship with somebody who loves you just as you are, who thinks you look beautiful, who thinks you're sexy, and you don't see it. So we have to know that it's not the appearance, it's deeper than that. Something else that was really interesting was my weight stopped fluctuating. So I have been the same size ever since I started this journey. This has been years. This has been after having a baby. My weight has not really fluctuated that much. And that would make sense because I'm not swinging back and forth anymore on this diet. All right. I think that's the end of my story. I think you can see, why it brought me to where I am here. And something else, I always love to make the comments my husband said, because sometimes we get the best reflection of our change from somebody else when, who's not in the thick of it with us. When we're in our heads in our own journey, we sometimes can't see our own change. So my husband would tell me, you are so much more emotionally stable now. You are so much happier. And he had actually said this to me, because we were dating at the time, right? When all this happened, he said, I really don't think we would actually still be together if you didn't go on this path, because it was so hard being around you when you were dieting, as I was so emotionally unstable and it was hard to be with me. So that saved our great relationship as well.